Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 7 and we will be reporting the work ethics. Before going to our report, we have the objective. 1. To be able to determine the work of ethics, functions, and its purpose. 2. To be able to familiarize the duties and types of wages. And the last one is to appreciate the morality in the rights of labor. So for my report, I have 4 topics: the meaning of work, the right to work, work as a natural duty of oneself, and capital and labor. So we already know what ethics means, but to summarize it, ethics means to concern with human conducts, especially the behavior in individuals in society. So it's a study what is morally right or wrong. The highlight is what is work. So from our reference from the book that was given to us, the meaning of work is the use of application of our physical powers to accomplish a certain task. So it means that ang meaning sa work kay para matawag siya work, kailangan ta mag-use og physical powers. Magamit ta og physical, mag-antod yung ilihok atong body to accomplish a certain task para matawag siya nga work. Example of that is kanang mga farmers. Ninatawag sila na nag-work pag naa sila sa tabuhoan, nagkuhan sila palay, may ana. But it doesn't mean na mahimo kang boring or pokpok, 'di ba? Physical, gamit na physical, dili na siya appeal, exception na siya na sa meaning sa work na magamit og lawas para maka-gain og money. So second meaning, work is for the purpose of obtaining an economic gain for the laborer. So it means that kana ang mga tao nag-work or it ma-work lang siya. It could be only a work if ang inyong ginatrabaho kay nagapakuan siya sa economic gain or nagaptaas siya sa economic growth sa isa ka country or isa ka kanang lugar. So example, sa number 1 example, those projects or activity that could be done or can be manipulated physically. So, diba ato activities kay ato man siyang ginagamitan og lihok na physical powers. Nagagamit og physical like sa ato ang PE, nagasayaw ta, nagagamit ta og atong body, ginagamit og physical powers. Pasabot na like it's a meaning of work na nagagamit ng physical powers to obtain a certain task. And then, ang example sa number 2 is a farmers or manufacturers. Like, di ba, ang farmers kaya naga-farm sila, like sa mga sa palay, sa farmers sa palay. Nagatanom sila para ibaligya. And ang kanang rice na ilang ibaligya, makatabang na siya sa economic growth. Kay nagakuan man na siya sa need sa tao, so ilahan ng nag-supply sila, nag-export sila og mga rice sa laing country. So isa na example ng farmers or manufacturers sa example or meaning of a work in economic gain. So next, example of work of ethics: obeying the company's rule, effective communication, taking responsibility, professionalism, and trust and mutual respect for your colleagues at work. So, the 5 things that I just said is the example of work of ethics. So, number 1, hindi na ako siya isa-isahon, pero atong ikon ang number 1, like obeying the company's rule. Diba ang work kay, diba, like, physical, obtaining a physical power, using of physical power, like nga na, diba? And the ethics is doing it morally right or wrong. So, obeying company's rule could kanang applicable siya sa morally right. Kaya imo man gina-obey ang rules sa company. So apil na siya sa work of ethics. Kay sa company work, nag-work ka sa company while obeying is apil siya sa kwan sa ethics. You're doing it right. You're doing kanang unsa jay kwan sa you're obeying the rule. So, let's proceed to the ethics inside the classroom. So, ethical conduct requires that everyone in the classroom practice respect and well-being as a central motivation for learning. So, di ba kanang kung dili lang sa work na made ang work of ethics. Ma-made po siya ang ethics na aga palibot po siya sa classroom. Like sa like everyone should respect each other. Like ang respect, di ba, is doing it morally right. So it's an ethic of a student to respect each other para na may motivation, para na learning, na peace sa isa ka classroom. So, example of classroom ethics. Follow the classroom rules. Number 2, follow the do and don'ts of the campus. So that's the example of the classroom ethics. So next is the right to work. The right to work is based on a natural law. Why nagakwan siya natural law? Di ba? Natural law kay di ba? Like sa kanang pag ikaw na to siya sa Bible, based on Bible, di ba? Ang tao kay nagalihok jud siya. Nagalihok jud ang tao, and then it's natural lang sa tao na mulihok. And then di ba ang meaning sa kuan kay use the physical power, and it's already a work. Daw natural law na siya kay we need our physical powers, or we need to work para makaginugma ni and para makuha na to atong needs, especially needs and wants. So, man has basic needs which must be satisfied in order for him to survive. Like what I've said, like kanang di ba kwanta gamit ang physical powers to work, and kanang atong work di ba naaman na siya ikapalit, which is money. And then ang money ang ginapalit nato sa atong needs o wants, especially sa atong needs para mo survive ang isa ka tao. To satisfy, need siya mag-work to satisfy in order for him to survive. He need to work to gain money to na siya kwarta para mo survive diri sa earth. If a person cannot own the means by which he derives his substance, then he cannot provide for his life and for those of his dependents. So, this means that kung dili ka mo lihok, dili ta mo work, dili na to ma-achieve or di na to ma-satisfy atong needs. So, of course, kung naa ka ginabuhi, apil pod sila, maapektuhan pod sila na dili pod sila ka-survive. Dili pod sila kakuan sa ilahang needs o ilahang wants, kay especially need ba jud ka mag-work, and especially nag-work jud ang tao kay naa sila nagadepend sila ha. Naa sila ginakuan nga life pod ba. So ang example ani kay a father must work to have his basic needs, and also he needs to work because he have family to feed. So again, just like what I've said, like an example, a father, hindi siya mag-work kay na siya basic needs, like kailangan niya food, kailangan niya water, kailangan niya gana. But in order for him to have those needs, he needs to work to gain money. And then pag na siya needs, of course, naama siya family na nagadepend sa yaha, ang iyang salary na naga-sustain sa iyang needs, makasustain po siya sa iyang family para ma-feed niya family para sila tanan makasurvive. So next. So according to Pope Leo, work is obtained property and to hold it as his own private possession. So, ang work pala, dili lang din siya nag-depend na kanang nakay salary, na kanang nagatrabaho ka. Ang work is also like kanang owning a private property. Like, you have your own land, does it mean dili na siya work kay imo nang gihaguan para makuha na nimo nga land. Your private possession, like may nga na imong car, imuhang land, it's already a work. Pero pag kanang car needs lang na siya or magamit lang na nimo para sa imong need kung imo siya ang himuong pang negosyo. Kay kung pang ano lang nimo siya style, pang kan lang dili jud na siya mahimong pang work. So also, according to Poplego, power of disposal that ownership consists, whether the property of land or movable goods. So, just like what I've said, like kanang, di ba, dili ang work, dili lang siya nag-consist about like kanang motrabaho ka sa laing tao. It's either motrabaho ka sa laing tao or ikaw ang mahimong employer. Sila imong mga employees. Like just like magkuan kag property sa land or movable goods. Example of movable goods like kanang magkuan kag sari-sari store, just like that. So example of this is entrepreneurs. Diba ang entrepreneurs kay mga kuan man na sila, mga negosyante. Dili nagatrabaho sila pero at the same time naay nagatrabaho sa ila. Munay ginapasabot ni Popleo. So next is work as a natural duty to oneself. Work is directed to the promotion of life. Why is work is directed to the promotion of life? Kay ang work naga-change sa tao, di ba? Just like dako kog salary, it's a promotion of life kay daghan ng opportunity maabot sa kuha. Kung dako kog salary, daghan kog matabangan, makuha na kong needs, labi na akong wants, and it could sustain or it could make me happy, or then ang imong happy, it could be a reason for your promotion of life. Next, this obligation assume greater proportion as one becomes head of the family. So ang work, of course, like sa example sa father, obligation jud niya or greater ay hadyo ng obligation like the head of the family, kasi may head sa family. So father, obligation jud niya na magtrabaho para naay siya ika-sustain sa iyang pamilya. So, according to Popleo, for it is a most sacred law of nature. So, that's what I've said. Diba, like sa Biblia, ilham yung tradition. Dapat ang papa jud ang trabaho. Ang papa jud mangitag kwarta para ipakaon sa pamilya. Pero, in our generation, sa ako ang na-observe, as what I've observed, sagaran karon mama na ang mangitag trabaho, ang papa na mabilin sa balay, ang papa na mahimong pulpul. So siguro kay ano man si Popleo kanang pari man, still believe that this sacred law is still working, like kanang daghan pagya na ang papa Japon ang nagangita og trabaho para ka-sustain sa pamilya. Like kaning nahimo ang work na sacred law kay, di ba? Kailangan ta mulihok for us to survive. Kailangan jud mulihok ka tao kay di ka kailangan mapulpul kay dili man ka wala man kay kapansanan. You are physically fit to work. So next is that a father must provide food, and this one is according also to Popleo that a father must provide food and all necessaries for those whom he has begotten. So what I've said, ang father jud ang must provide kay nagadiwala jud si Popleo na this sacred law kay ang father jud obligado jud siya, the head of the family obligado na mag-work para siyang pamilya, para sa iyahang nagadepende sa iyaha. So next, capital and labor. So capital means refer to the owner or investors of the industry. And labor is refers to the hard workers employed by the industry. So capital is like, capital or employer. Ang employer mo ang boss, owner sa isa ka company, ang naga-invest, owner sa isa ka, like, let's say, na ako'y sari-sari store, tapos dili na ako kaya i-manage ako ang sa kadaghan og nakog trabaho and daghan pun kayo kog customer. So for me to work for me to fluently work ang ako ang sari-sari store, I need some help. I need employees. So as an employer, need ko kuan og mga laborer, mga employees na ako para mag-work ang sari-sari store. Ang laborer or employees mo na siya ang ginahard nako or ginahard sa isa ka employer sa iyahang industry, sa isa ka industry or sa isa ka business para motabang sa kapital. So, capital and labor are complementary to each other. So, what is complementary? It's interconnected or combined. So, nganong complement man sila sa duha? It's because as what Sip said, ang employer need jud siya employees, labi na sa mga dagko nga companies ay para nindot andagan sa iyahang business. So kaila ang employer di man jud na niya makayatanan, so need niya trabahante para motabang sa iyaha. That's why na sila interconnected. Like dili malambo ang isa ka business sa isa ka kapital kung wala siya labor. So the relationship of these two is often stained due to the disregard of justice. Why man nagastain ang relationship sa duha? It's because karon sa ako ma-observe nato, ang kapital is unfair na kaysa pag-pay sa mga trabahante. Example na, 'di ba? Example sa kanang nagastay ng ilang relationship. Nagakon maguni siya chaos kay it's because ang capital or ang employer kay unfair na kayo sa ilahang like 'di ba naman na sila tawag anang papel na ilahang permahan bago sila mo trabaho. Bago na nila makuan, 'di ba? Naman na sila mga rules dito. Kung sa ilang benepisyo na makuha sa company, mangyan-ngana. Pero pag abot nila sa trabaho, wala to nahimo or wala to na gitupad sa employer. Maunang murag wala na ganahi ang mga labor, maunang na-stain ang ilang relationship. Kaya walay justice ang ilahang gipangsulti dito sa ilahang kanang contract, tapos wa gihimo sa pagkanon ng pagtrabaho nila. So because kay nanay-stain ang ilang relationship, nahimo ang the Labor Code of the Philippines. The Labor of the Philippines defines the relationship of capital and labor, relationship sa employer o employees. So the example of this is Article 287 or the retirement. Pwede pod ang RA 11058, and this is employer are now required to comply with occupational safety and health standard. Muna siyang example sa labor code. Ano sila, ang Article 28 o sa retirement, kung anong imong edad, pwede na ka mo retire. Pero nabayad yung uban ng mga companies nga, dili ka pa retirement, able pa ka para silang company. So, dili pa kanila pa early retirement or dili pa jud kanila ipa-retire, dili i-agree ang imuhang retirement paper. So, this one, kaning RA 11058 is important to workers. Why? It's because this act or this code kay complying na kana ang mga employees kay nagasuot na sila og safety equipment, PPE nila, na kailangan dapat ang mga employer ilahan na nang ihatag sa mga employees. Just like construction workers, di ba? Naman na sila yung mga employee, di ba? Tapos sila na mga employee sa mga construction worker, kailangan sila tawagan ng kailangan sila, di ba, mga building, hingana. So, nandiyo tendency na makuha ilang ulo og mga saminto, mga bakal. So, in order to them na ma-safety sila sa ilang trabaho, need nila PPE, sa personal protective equipment na dapat gina-provide sa employers. Na dili dapat sila mag-provide ana kay ang employers kung dili sila i-provide sa mga employer nila pwede sila mukaso sa mga employers nila. Kaya naanay batas, just like RA 11058 para mo-protect sa ila ha. Because tanan tao na ay nagaprotect sa inyo ha. Kung employer ka, kaya naay labor code ang Pilipinas para mo protect sa relationship sa isa ka employer or employees. So, no amount of laws can truly harmonize men unless man himself accept the goodness and justice come from within him. So, tama jud ni kanang wala joy law na makapa-peace or harmonize sa isa ka tao. Kay di ba? Pangit jud kayo tao pangit jud kag sistema sa justice na to. Wala jud unjustice jud kay ang Pilipinas kay di ba di ba kung ang mga employer magkaso sa mga employees niya, daog sila kay naman sila kwarta. Pero pag ang employees mo kaso sa ilang employer ang employer nagkwarta sa attorney, taga nila kwarta para madaog sila. And there's no harmonize in that because wala nila gi-accept na mali sila, na wala nila gibayaran og tarong ilang mga trabahante. At the same time, di sila musugot na tama ang mga trabahante. Kaya wala man nila accept. There's no harmonize pag dili nila accept ilahang mali. So the evil that men do comes from greed and malice. So what is greed? Greed is selfishness. And malice is desire to do evil. So, kaning di ba ang men kay naman jud tay natural evil. So ang kaning ilang ginabuhat kay wala sila pag dili nila accept or kanang unfair sila sa ilang trato sa ilang mga trabahante, wala sila harmonize. Ang ilang ginabuhatan ni kay di ba, comes from greed and malice. Sa ilang selfishness. Kay di ba selfishness kay gusto nila kay gamay lang ilang ibayad sa ilang trabahante kay padadako silang income. And dili man na pwede kay dapat naman joy exact salary ang mga trabahante. And nabuhatan nila kay na sila'y ginaplano nga na sila'y ginaplano na gusto nila at the same time mali man to. Or decide to do evil. So next.
So good day everyone. I am Jonah Lee Verbosidad and I am the second reporter. So my topic is all about the question of wages, just wage or the family wage, factors determining wages, and the unionism or a natural right. The question of wages. This is usually claimed that wages is fixed by mutual agreement between employee and employer, which means mao ni siya ang gisabutan sa employee and employer. And also, just wage is the legitimate fruit of work. Next is the just wage covers the basics necessary for a minimally decent life for a worker's household, including hours of work that are predictable, not excessive, and provide regular rest to facilitate a decent life away from work. Just wage is also defined as that remuneration which is enough to support the wage earner in reasonable and frugal comfort. So next is just wage, a family wage. Family wage is a wage that is sufficient to raise a family. Example is a household consisting of a nuclear family with a single wage earner, namely the man, with the wife staying home and raising a children, and thus the premise that the man's wage should support his wife and their children. the factors determining wages. This requires that workers receive a wage sufficient to lead a life worthy and to fulfill family responsibilities properly. And lastly, unionism, a natural right. It is the right of work to join a union to protect his livelihood and cooperate in building social order. So, it is the right o right sa mga workers na moapil sa mga livelihood or also to cooperate in other building social order. And that would be all. Thank you.
Work ethics. What is striking ethics? Strikes are a strategy used by an employee or group of employees in an attempt to force an employer to meet their demands whether economics or otherwise. So, strike means to refuse to continue because of an argument with with an employer about working conditions, levels, or job losses. For example, we're striking for better pay and improved safety standards. Morality of strike. A strike may be defined as the organization from work by a number of employees in an industry to compel the employer to comply with certain demands. So bali na ay morality of strike, it's because they want to fight their right kay basig sobra na ang pamaagi or dili na maayo ang paghandle sa ilang employer. For example, gihimo nila na nga strike tungod kay delayed ang salary. So, naay rason ang paghimo nila nga strike para mahatagag pansin ang ilang gustong hitabo. For a strike to be moral, the following must be present. There is sufficient and just a reason for it. Their intended good result must be proportionate to the civil effects. The means employed are lawful. So, the rights of labor. Labor rights are workers' rights, are both legal rights and human rights relating to labor relationship between workers and employers. So, the right to decent work and freedom, association to equal opportunity and protection against discrimination. For example, safe working conditions. Employer must be provide workers with every kind of on-the-job protections against injury, sickness, or death through safe and healthful working conditions. So, ginasecure dyan ang conditions para sa ilang pagtrabaho para di sila mag-lisod or magka-problema. Employees have a right first not be harassed or discriminated. So dili jud sila dapat gina-discriminate, especially sa mga bagong na employed kay mao pa man nilang pagsugod. So di jud sila dapat discriminate kung unsa ang ilang mga personality. Second, receive equal pay for equal work. So ginahanglan nga equal jud tanan, walay kulang mapoy labaw. Number 3, expect that any genetic information that they share with their employee will be kept confidential. Therefore, report discrimination, participate in discrimination investigation or oppose discrimination. Morality and personal management. A personal management can be defined as obtaining, using, and maintaining satisfied workplace. It is a significant part of management concerned with employees at work with their relationship within the organization. So personal management, okay, it tries to help the workers to develop their potential and fully to concern. It also motivate the employees through its effective incentive plans so that the employees provide fully cooperation. Personal management deals with the human resources of a concern. So according to Flippo, personal management is a planning, organizing, compensation, integration, and maintenance of people for purpose of contributing organizational, individual, and social goals, societal goals. So, basic duties of workers. Conscience dictates the duties of a work. It is a conscience because it is impossible for anyone not to have an inkling of these duties, namely, work honestly and comply with all agreements. So, kailangan bila mo work na matinudanon ug mo comply sa kung unsa man ang mga agreements. Never injure capital nor steal from the employer. Never outrage the person of employer. Number 4, never employ, decide, nor violence in presenting a cause. Never consort with agitator or men of evil principles. Basic duties of employer. Employer have secured task of caring for their workers. There is the golden opportunity to become an ethical man for others. They must be fair-minded and generous in their dispositions. Basic duties toward their workers. Respect the human dignity of the workers. Dignity is the right of a person to be valued and respected for their own sake and to be treated ethically. So appreciate their work. So kinahanglan nato i-appreciate ilang work para mas motivate pa sila and mas mo level up pa lang skills. So number 3, never threat them as slaves for making money. So dili jud sila kinahanglan gamiton ng mga workers para lang makakwarta ka. Number 4, never assign them tasks beyond their strength. Do not employ them in work not suited to their age or so dili nimo sila i-assign sa task na dili nila kaya and dili nila mabuhat. Kinahanglan ibutang nimo sila dito sa task na kaya nila and ma-fit sa ilaha. So number 5, give them commensurate wages. Number 6, provide for their health and social recreation. Provide them time for practice of their religion. Instruct them on how to use their money wisely. So number 9, instruct them to love their family. Number 10, provide them with the opportunities for promotions. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rodelyn Masangcay. I am the last reporter. So I am going to discuss, it's all about basic duties of employers. So first is, respect the human dignity of the workers. So from the word is respeto. So kailangan nato respetuhon ang dignidad ng isang tao. Number 2, appreciate their work. So never stop saying thank you. For example, be appreciative or show a gratitude in their small success. It's more likely to make them successful in tasks. 3. Never treat them as slaves for making money. So hindi dapat natin silang ituring na alipin para kumita ng pera. So 4, never assign them tasks beyond their strength. Do not employ them in work not suited to their age or sex. So dapat huwag natin silang bigyan ng gawaing higit sa kanilang lakas at huwag din natin silang gamitin sa tabahong hindi angkop sa kanilang edad o kasarian. 5, give them commensurate wages. So dapat bigyan natin sila ng katumbas na sahod. Provide their health and social recreation. So means, maglaan tayo para sa kanilang kalusugan at panlipunang ng libangan like anang mag-outing or mag-team building. 7, provide them time for practice of their religion. So, dapat bigyan natin sila ng panahon para sa pagsasagawa ng kanilang reliyon. Like ay depende sa particular sa denominasyon ng Kristyanismo. Maaring sa kabilang na mga gawain like anang pagbunyag, pagkumpisal, or kumpirmasyon. Like anang magseremonyas sa mga namatay, then like anang kasal, and like anang mga bata nga mag-graduate, diba? Kailangan man na siya kanang magmisa before mag-graduate. Like anang grade 6 antod sa senior high and college. So 8, instruct them on how to use their money wisely. So, turuan natin sila kung paano gamitin ng maayos at matalino ang kwarta. For example, bumili lang tayo ng mga bagay na kinakailangan. Second, huwag tayong gumastos sa mga bagay na di naman importante or di naman kinakailangan. Third, bumili tayo ng mga bagay na mababa ang presyo upang tayo ay makatipid. Then, the last, unahin ang mga bagay na iyong kinakailangan sa ating pang-araw-araw na gastusin tulad ng bigas, ulam, at iba pa. 9. Instruct them to love their family. So means, kailangan na to mahalon ang atong pamilya. So, pinakauna is dili na to dapat kalimtan ang maging sentro tayo sa Diyos. First, maging sentro tayo sa Diyos. Second, iparamdam at igalang ang bawat kasapi ng pamilya. Third, walang iwanan kung nakaranas ng pagsubok. And last, higit sa lahat, magtutulungan lahat ng bagay at huwag mag-away. Very important yan. Di yun mag-away sa kapamilya. Then 10, provide them with the opportunities for promotion. So, bigyan natin sila ng pagkakataon para sa promote. So, katong tao nga kailangan nato i-promote is katong kabalumutan o sa kuan sa ubang tao, dili kay iyahan sarili lang unahon. Kung like anong inyuhang butuhan ninyo katong walay pakialam kundi iyahan sarili, so sayang kay inyong buto kung siya ang inyong i-promote as taas sa inyong trabaho. What is industrial peace? So means industrial peace is commonly understood by many as absence of complex and disputes in labor management relations. Some conceive of it simply as the absence or prevention of strikes, lockouts, layoffs, and other extreme measures resorted to by either labor or management. So, industrial peace is kanang kapayapaan. Both employer and employees abstain from industrial action such as strikes and lockouts. The ways that lead to authentic industrial peace. Justice. Justice is a morally fair and right state of everything. To have justice as a person character treats means that they are just and treat everyone the same, or now they would like to be treated. So from justice means hustisya. Hustisya. Ang pagkakaroon ng katarungan bilang katangian ng isang tao ay nanghuhulugan na sila ay makatarungan at pareho ng pakikitungo sa lahat, or kung paano nila gustong tratuhin. Respect for the personalities, values of labor. So means labor is first of all, an activity proceeds from the human person as its proper subject and primarily directed to the good of person. The primary basis of the value of labor is the person himself who carries it out. So means kanang personal na halaga paggawa. Ang paggawa ay una sa lahat ay isang aktibidad na nanggagaling sa tao bilang tamang paksa at pangunahing nakadirekta sa kabutihan ng isang tao. Priority of labor over capital. The personal value of the labor demands that capital should serve labor and not the economic entity over the above the human person and his work. So means, ang kapital ay hindi kailanman maaaring idikta bilang isang pang-ekonomiyang entidad na higit sa tao at sa kanyang trabaho. The principle of charity and solidarity. So means, despite their many conflicting interests, people belong to the world of labor and that the capital must realize they all share the same humanity and must embrace each other as the brothers and sisters and decide to live as such. Love in the solidarity call upon labor and management to go beyond the narrow confines of their groups and work for the common good of the country and the attainment of the peace for everyone. The last is through dialogue in search of the common good. So means is the dialogue presuppose the willingness to search for what is true, good, and just for every group, for everyone. It is the words of John Paul II. The dialogue demands openness and willingness to listen and to feel the situation of the other. Dialogue is the search for what is good for peaceful means. The participants in dialogue must be determined to act in such a way that the factors which bring people together will be victorious over the factors of division and